What should be the motive, or why should one be motivated to enter into entrepreneurship?
Well, I think that it depends on the individual, but first of all, is the passion. However, coming from the business angle, is about the viability. Every entrepreneur is a businessman, and the motive of business is to make profit. So, if you want to make profit, then you want to make sure that whatever entrepreneurship venture you want to engage in is something that is viable when it comes to business. So, I think that it's more about the viability of a project. That should be the definitive thing. But of course, it must be backed with passion, because if you are not passionate about it, it's very difficult to also do it.
You spoke about credibility when it comes to entrepreneurship. What is credibility going to do for me as an entrepreneur? Or why should an entrepreneur be credible?
As an entrepreneur, credibility is everything. Credibility is everything because even clients will not trust you when they think you are not credible. You are going to sell products to people. From the beginning of the manufacturing of the product, your credibility comes to question. When you are not even credible, you will not even present the best of products to the people. When you are not credible, you will not even get the best of raw materials. When you are not credible, you don't get the best of finance. No bank will be ready to even lend you money. No, supplier will be ready to give you goods. So for me, credibility is everything in business. You need to be credible so that people can trust you and your product and trust your brand as well. There are certain brands in Ghana today, you mention them and nobody wants to associate with them. It's because people have found them not to be credible. But there are certain brands too, as soon as you mention them, people will not ask questions. They want to associate with them, they want to consume them. It's all about credibility. So it's very key when it comes to business and entrepreneurship.
As a startup, what are the do's and don'ts in coming or engaging into entrepreneurship?
Well, first of all, you must be very certain about your business idea. One of the don'ts is that don't pick a business idea that you are not convinced you can execute. And that's why I always insist on people making sure that they have a litany of business ideas. Do a lot of research about some of these ideas. Be convinced about the viability of the idea before you go into execution. Now, one of the things you must also do as a businessman is that you must make sure that you do a bit of research about whatever you want to do. Whatever business venture you want to venture into it, do some research. Ask certain questions. Is there a need for the product? Some people will just get up, start producing things that people don't need. It becomes a problem. So, as a businessman or as an entrepreneur, research is fundamental in anything you do. Right from the beginning of your project, make sure that you do your market research, you do your research about the product, you do your research about your customers. Let the customers get to know what they need so that you produce to satisfy that need. We call it tailor-made products. So you have to make sure that you are producing tailor-made products. It means products that is going to satisfy a specific need. So that as soon as the product comes out, those who need the product will just go for it. Now these are very basic when it comes to entrepreneurship. And then another thing you also need to do is that in entrepreneurship, corporate governance is important. Corporate governance simply refers to your basic bookkeeping. The way you are going to keep your business books, your expenditure analysis, your income flows, the way you are going to keep your accounting system. This is what will make third-party people see the viability of your business. Imagine an investor wanting to invest in your business. The only eye he will have into your business is your account system. If you don't have proper bookkeeping, books that keeps your income and your expenditure, no bank will even be willing to give you money. So these things are very, very basic when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Is it advisable to take a loan as a startup to start a business? Is it advisable to take a loan?
Yes and no. My advice has always been that don't take loan to invest in capital projects. So don't go and take a loan and then because you are not coming to start your business, you now want to use a loan to put up your office. You now want to put up, a warehouse and you use a loan. No. But it's always advisable when you take a loan for service provision. Now, services, are normally executed in no time. Services normally turns around the money quickly. When you also want to engage in basic trade, sometimes you can go for a loan. So, for example, let's say you have a supply contract with Anglo Good Ashanti. Now, AngloGold Ashanti has asked you to supply, let's say, phones. AngloGold says, supply me 30 phones every month and I'll pay you by the end of the month. Because it's just, 30 days. You can take money from the bank, do the supply, make your margins. By the end of the 30 days, you take your payment, you pay back. So it won't attract so much huge loan. In that regard, I wouldn't say it's wrong. But let's say if you want to go into construction, manufacturing, you want to go into real estate, you want to build houses for people to buy. Now, when you build a house, you are now going to mortgage the building to people who want to buy. It will take them 20 years, 30 years to pay back. No bank will be ready to give you a loan for 30 years or 20 years. It definitely won't fit. So I always advise people, if you want to go for a loan, look at the investment you are doing. If it is something that the return on investment will come quickly, it's not bad starting with a loan, because you can always pay back and make some margins out of it. But if you want to go into capital projects, then please don't try it.
What has been your biggest fear as an entrepreneur?
My biggest fear is that I do not want to live to see my legacy die. Now, I have started a business today. I want to see my business as a going concern. I want to see my generation, my children, my children's children come and to build on it. Now, one of the biggest problems we have, especially in our part of the world, is that mostly people build business and they die with the business. If you go in the Western world, they build a business, the owner dies, his children come, the business moves on. For example, you look at KFC. Currently, the owners of KFC today are, I think, about the third or fourth generation. The owner is long dead, but KFC is surviving. That is what I don't want to see my business go. So it's my biggest fear. My prayer is that one day my company will survive generations upon generations, and that's my biggest legacy.
What advice are you giving to students who are eager or who want to venture into entrepreneurship?
Be honest, be committed, and work hard. These cardinal principles are very important. Now, one of the major challenges we have today is that we have a lot of insincere and dishonest people in the system. I have a case in point in my business where I employed a fresh graduate, worked with him, trained him for about 7 years. I was building him. Eventually, he turned out to connive with other workers and they were stealing from me. Now, you see, as soon as you have such a thing happening, it actually, demoralizes you, and it does not want you to give other young graduates or young people coming up the opportunity. Meanwhile, everybody is not the same. Some people, when you give them the opportunity, they will take it well, do well, and then they can also spring from there. But some people, when you give them the opportunity, because they want to be rich overnight, they feel like stealing. And for me, I think this is one of my most disappointments. Giving young people the opportunity and then they prove to be dishonest, they want to steal, they want to make money quickly. It's not the best.
Your name, please?
My name is Edward Kwesi Ekwok.
And the company?
My company is Muffin Group of Companies.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.